Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the ForLight podcast, a weekly show of gaming news, and all things entertainment related. I'm your host, Ethan, alongside my co-hosts.
I'm Leighton.
I'm Aiden.
And I'm David.
So this week we are back. It's been about a month. We've taken a long break for Christmas and in holiday.
It's pretty awesome.
It is now 2024, which is crazy. Anyways, I just want to get into a little bit of housekeeping. You can find us anywhere you stream podcasts at the ForLight Podcast or at ForLight Podcast. We're on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We're uploading shorter videos you can find on YouTube, and we're also streaming like video games every week. So yeah, you can find us really anywhere. Today we're gonna be talking about the game of the year, which is a little late, I know.
It's a little late, but honestly, an oldie but a goodie, if I'm honest.
Like, I think this game of the year was interesting. It was,
it was oddly constructed. I mean, the one, the prior year, the 2022 game of the year stuff, I honestly felt was better constructed, and it had more of like a constructed flow and like feel. And
it felt real.
It felt very authentic. And, obviously it was the year of Elden Ring and God of War. So obviously a lot of the choices were going to be pretty cut and paste. But I think a lot of the decisions and things this year also were, I don't know, maybe not as explained or understood as in past years.
Right. And I think there was also it was like 70% of the show was ads. Game announcements and like ads and stuff.
It felt so different.
And it's Game of the Year awards.
It's not
Granted, there's only 32 categories, and there's only so long they can spend on each category.
No, bro,
which makes sense.
allow the people to talk for like a minute.
Allow
minutes, them to talk
seconds.
2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Have them actually speak about the process and things like that. Call attention to the people who deserve these awards.
Right.
Because what they had done is cut them off at like the 30-second mark. I mean, you're not going to get the content, the feel, the connection that you would if you had let them speak. And I get it. Maybe just do another event where you're just releasing things and showing, like Xbox does. I mean, they don't even do a full like event type thing. They just do a direct. They're like,
right.
Hey, these are the games that are coming to direct. Let's get hyped. They could do the same thing.
It was very interesting because I feel like in the same vein, it was almost like Jeff Keighley was like, we want more things being announced here. Mm-hmm. And then it turned into, okay, now let's push the announcement side. And I think a lot of people were just like, well, we want to hear from Larian. We want to hear from the Nintendo devs. We want to hear what it took.
We want to hear from fucking
games.
Christopher Judge.
Right.
Yeah, seriously. And I mean, I know...
Yes, we do.
And there was the joke of like the 8-minute.
Yeah, no, he literally called
attention.
attention. He was probably the only one who called attention.
He called attention to that, and he called attention to Call of Duty. But
No, that was so funny.
That was so funny.
Him dogging on Call of Duty was the funniest thing ever.
That made me happy.
And honestly, like, I'm okay. One person takes 8 minutes. That doesn't mean everyone else has to take 30 seconds. Like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy, dude.
Just let him talk, for fuck's sake.
They do longer at the Oscars.
I think, honestly, and
Cillian Murphy won an Oscar.
Even like Christopher Judge having that long speech, like no one afterwards was like, everybody was like, wow, that was a long speech, but no one was upset. I mean, granted, it's Christopher Judge, but like, if I really wanted to see what it took Larian to make BG3, like,
no, seriously.
having the no knowledge going into Game of the Year, and then having an immense knowledge about it, or I would say like a lot of knowledge now that I've played it with my friend, it would have been really cool to just see what happened and how it took them.
Yeah, I mean, Baldur's Gate, obviously, spoiler alert, I think we all know the ending of what happened. Baldur's Gate definitely got some well-needed attention for its amazingness. Oh. But also, having a game that has upwards of 120 hours of content is like, that's insane. That's amazing.
And like, not even 120 hours the first time.
Yeah, the first time you play. Like, that is absurd. That is an absurd thing to like create. That's longer than Elden Ring. So like, let's go into the process of it.
I just want to edit a statement I made earlier. Cillian Murphy won a Golden Globe, not an Oscar. He was nominated for Oscar.
Yeah. No, sorry. I got you.
Apologies.
I will say though, none of this matters because Silk Song wasn't announced. So yeah, honestly, I think you guys can end the podcast there. Like, that's all you need to know.
Yeah, so getting into just the show itself, some important things. We're just going to go start with, like, the important things that won. I got this from Forbes online, so I just want to shout that out because I don't want to, like, steal stuff. But the first one, very epic and
Yes,
very
it is.
pissed I didn't fucking vote for this.
How did
It
you
was
not?
good.
I
It
can't
was
believe
Because
it.
I was convinced with fucking Dave the Diver and shit. But
Dave the
Sea of
Diver
Star-
is good, but I also will amend a statement
Yeah.
after you talk about this.
Yeah, Sea of Stars won Indie, which was basically
Absolutely
the thing.
deserved it. 100%.
No, it was fantastic. And genuinely, after having played Sea of Stars and Dave the Diver, Sea of Stars definitely deserved it. Like, just straight up. I love Dave the Diver. I thought it was fun. I thought it was a good game. It dies out after, like, 6 hours. Like, you kind of lose the interest in the game.
yeah.
I mean, it can go on much longer, but you kind of lose the interest. And then Sea of Stars was, like, it starts getting good at, like, hour 4. Like, it starts getting good.
And there's
at
like
hour
it takes like
4.
35 hours to beat that game.
Yeah,
It's
seriously.
fucking
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, so going from Sea of Stars, we have Alan Wake 2, which was really cool. Came very, very late. But it ended up winning Best Game Direction, Narrative, and Art Direction.
Deserved, honestly. I
Which
think.
was funny because it won more than Baldur's Gate. Baldur's
It did,
Gate got nominated for more things, but Alan Wake 2 won more things.
I think it also is a game that appeals more to critics.
100%. It's an
Oh,
art,
yeah.
it's an art
it
project.
also like
It is.
it changed. There's so many things in terms of just like stuff that I noticed, like the dancing portion where it like that goes from like from live action to game to live action to game in the game.
It's
and
really
it's
cool.
very like mind melding. It's very cool. Hi-Fi Rush won Best Audio Design, which was very fucking cool.
As it deserved.
Neil Newbin won Best Performance. He played Astarion. And
Of course, because...
I don't, you know...
Yeah, no, I know. I saw that. I'm like, wait, it did?
Because, like, you know, Yuri was there. Cameron was there.
Oh,
I
you're
think-
talking about Neil Newborn. I thought you were talking about Armored Core.
I think we
No,
all
no.
voted for Cameron that we wanted
Yeah,
to
we
win.
wanted
No,
Cameron.
I voted for
Neil.
Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I get it. I think Neil Newbin did
Which is
amazing. I think he really did some fantastic work. I will say that that's probably just because he's a big fan favorite too. Like, the character in the game is one that everyone really likes.
Right.
So that gives him some extra points and stuff. But I mean, I'll still say that I believe that Cameron kind of deserved it.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not even in a knock Neil either.
yeah, absolutely.
And I haven't really gone into his story in terms of like in the game that I'm running with my friend. It's just that there are other characters like Shadowheart and
Lysel.
Lysel and the actually that's spoilers, so maybe I shouldn't say. But there's another character that comes like late game that's very, very important, and like I saw more performances in terms of those characters than I saw Neil Newman. But it's whatever. Armored Core won Best Action, which was very dope. I really like seeing. That made in like all the sense. It's an action. It is literally an action.
That's
game.
literally all it is. Like, genuinely, from top to bottom, it's action. And
Right.
it doesn't really have that much of a story, though.
You watch it.
It's
mister.
a FromSoft game. It has more of a lore than a story.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
You
Yes.
guys haven't finished the game, so
That's
That's
true.
great.
That is
You're
absolutely
wrong.
true. I mean, I could totally be wrong here, and speaking out of my ass is just from what I've seen.
I've also played some of the game. It's
some,
a story.
Some bro.
It's more of a lore.
This guy. Anyways, Tears of the Kingdom won Best Action Adventure. Also really made sense. I think that was
Yep.
like the
I
clear.
honestly
No
kind of
surprises
wanted
here and
it.
there.
I wanted it to win more, honestly, but
Yeah.
I liked it a lot, and I think it deserves at least that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Last of Us which was like a small other thing that I saw other than like innovation and accessibility, and there's other ones that kind of just get named every year. Last of Us won Best Adaptation, which was pretty cool.
Which was really cool.
Deserved.
I think they did a great job. HBO did awesome.
Literally, Pedro Pascal is the only Joel ever.
He is mommy.
No.
Anyways, and then finally finishing off the announcements here, we'll talk about Baldur's Gate 3. It won Game of the Year. We already talked about that, but it also won Best RPG, which makes sense.
Which totally makes sense.
It is.
I mean, yeah.
The definition of a role.
Yeah.
Oh my
playing
god,
game.
It's
we
D&D.
were
It's a role-playing
It
game.
is the role playing game.
we were
Like,
discussing. We're like, yeah, if it doesn't win best RPG, how could it win Game of the Year? Like, legitimately.
yeah, straight up.
How did you win Game of the Year? You didn't even win Best RPG.
So, do you guys want to talk about anything else in terms of announcement stuff, or do you want to move on?
I think
Pretty
that's
much-
about it.
One of the
Alright,
important
so
things that
April
won,
Awards.
I would say.
I think
Of the things that won, most of them were pretty expected. It
Yeah.
was like,
I mean, I found it very interesting that Iron Mouse won. I think
Iron Mouse has a very dedicated community.
Extraordinarily. And I looked more into it after this because I was very interested. And I'm like, I think part of the reason she won is she had like the community bases of like 12 people, not just her, all trying to support her.
Yeah, no,
which is,
she's very connected to Ludwig, I believe.
Ludwig, Connor, like the anime man, that type of stuff. Like, and obviously, she's like the most popular VTuber. So
yeah.
Plus, she deserves it. She's just as far as I've seen, she's just a pretty normal, good person.
I saw a couple clips, and I'm not into obviously that. Like, I know Ludwig is tied to like her and stuff in different games that they play, but I've never really watched any Iron Mouse. But she is just like the clips that I saw. She's just She was very shocked that she won.
Yeah.
The clip. It was hilarious.
She just screams.
She's just like, "Yay! It's gonna be Quackity." It's like I'm so proud of Quackity for winning, and then it's like it's Iron Mouse, and she just loses her shit.
Like the mic like breaks basically. She screams so hard. It's fucking hilarious.
It's honestly like she seems like a genuinely good person. I think the persona she puts on is not for me. Just like,
it's a VTuber persona.
VTuber type persona. That's not for me. I mean, it feels like I don't know. It gives me kind of a creepy vibe. Like
it's not for everyone. I don't personally watch VTubers. I just happen to get the clips all the time because I'm on like anime TikTok basically.
Yeah, that adds up.
All right. Do we want to move into the announcements? We good with that?
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah.
Important things.
Yeah, so I got this from IGN as well. Basically, I went. There was more things that were announced, smaller stuff like, Monster Hunter that I don't care about. But maybe do you?
There's a lot of people who care about it. I mean, I'm not one of those people, but go ahead, do what you love. I mean,
it's like the 15th iteration.
We didn't know Pal World was coming out, and that's basically Monster Hunter with Pokemon. So
and guns,
yeah,
and slavery, yeah,
and slavery, and you can you can own other people, yeah. So,
but yeah,
it's a game.
It is a game.
It's
sure.
highly rated.
I just find it to be so absolutely funny that the Pokemon fans are attacking it more than Nintendo is.
Did it get announced at Game
No,
Year?
It didn't get announced.
It can't. It's a fucking Pokemon ripoff. It physically can't. Otherwise, Nintendo will be like.
When did it get announced? I know it got announced.
It didn't get announced.
I don't think it was announced or anything.
I remember.
94% of the 121,000 reviews for Power World are positive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I totally expect it. But it
does look fun.
It looks fun. I mean, I would probably play it for like 2 hours and be like, I'm good.
See, I'd play it with you guys. Like, I'd like to do like a multiplayer world because then it'd be fun.
I think it's very interesting to me because I love multiplayer games. They are more exhausting to me. Like, I love playing solo player games just because I don't know. They give me more energy when playing it. Like, because maybe I'm just an introvert. Maybe I feel like I have to put on a persona when I'm talking to other people. But yeah, sometimes I just want my single player Disco Elysium. This is, I mean, I will be so honest, and I'm gonna be nerding out about this probably for the next 2 to 3 podcasts. Cyberpunk was genuinely one of the best experiences in gaming I've ever experienced. It was a shooter story game. Like, it was fantastic. Like, it was awesome.
Aiden is contributing to your favorite game right now.
Yeah, sorry. Guys, I'm playing Disco Elysium right now.
It doesn't even have fucking words! Sorry. Certain games that I love. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Have any words?
And not the action portions. I mean,
I'm talking about Disco Elysium.
I know you can.
It's also heavy role play in certain.
It is, and I love it so much. And it gave me that kind of like when I finished the game, it gave me a lot to think about. And like I went on to research some like why did cyberpunk type-esque things become created, and I discovered some really cool things. Before like computers got big, they were really big into searching like cybernetics and that type of stuff, which is discussing like people believed, and still a lot of people believe, that everything our minds do, like we don't have free will. That's kind of the discussion behind it. Like that we don't have free will, and that the electron signals and stuff like that are programmed in our brain. So if you knew all of that stuff, you theoretically could interpret exactly how a person would react their entire life. That's kind of the idea behind it.
That's wild.
Yeah,
That's wild.
And
Holy shit.
they started doing a lot of these experiments and stuff, and they're just like, well, if this is the theory, then we should have other things become classified as this as well. Like, if we create a robot or something like that, then are they technically a living organism type thing? So what they did is, in a wave pool, they added these robots that would go against the waves that were formed within the water, trying to make it as still as possible, basically. And what they do is they drop in like a stone or something like that. These waves would go out, and apparently the way that it like counteracted it, people swore it was like alive. Like the way that it looked, like it was apparently so freaky and everything.
That's wild,
dude. It's fire. It's fire. I don't know why. I love games that get me excited and learning about subjects that I don't understand or know about. Like it was awesome. Honestly, after the 2.0 update, 2.1 update. Go ahead, check it out. Genuinely a good game to check out.
I will definitely be playing it at some point. I know for a fact.
Yeah,
because
I want to play it as well.
Even beyond like the update in the base game, like Phantom Liberty is
also
very interesting.
Fuck Adam Smasher on hard. Fuck him. I'm sorry, on very hard. You can. Oh my god, I know.
Did you play on very hard?
Yeah, I played on very hard up until the fucking Adam Smasher fight when I had to lower it down to hard because I was like, this is insane. Because like I was texting these guys. I'm like, I fought him like 30 times. I've got him down to like 66 health, doing everything perfectly. Because dude, he can one-shot KO you with like one of his combos.
Lore accurate Adam Smasher.
No, seriously, it's absurd. And then, oh my god, best fight in the game, like seriously, but also it made me want to rip off my testicles. Like it was so bad.
Common from software player.
Yeah, no, I'm just like skill issue.
No, dude, it was bad. It was, and also, dude, some of his lines are like fucking crazy. When you're looking through one of like the vids in it, Adam Smasher turns to the person's like POV and goes like, "You look like a fuckable piece of meat. Are you?" And I'm like,
is he in the anime?
Yeah.
Yes.
What is he?
Adam Smasher.
He's like the main villain.
Have you finished Edgerunners?
Of course I have, but
Yes,
I can't
he's
remember.
He's the one
guy.
who killed
the guy who's
I'm
like,
spoiling here. I'm spoiling here. He's the one who killed Rebecca and David.
The guy who
Wait,
ripped
no.
David's shit off?
He's the one that like gets like what's it called?
He has a San
gets
Devastate.
hired to go
Yeah.
kill David.
Yeah, yeah.
Because David is
He's-
right. Okay,
He's the ultimate.
that's great. I didn't know he was that guy.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. No, and
He's
he.
Oh, if
fucked.
I had played the game and then watched the show, that would have been more rough. Because there's like a hope. There's a sliver that at David's. This is major spoilers, by the way, for the show.
Yeah. We need to put up like a spoiler warning here.
Editor
because, damn.
Ethan just put a giant screen of we are spoiling the fucking show.
But there's a hope that like David's going to survive the encounter.
You do not
if you
survive
find
Adam
out
Smasher.
that it's Adam Smasher, if you've been playing Cyberpunk, that's wild. I would have been like, ooh.
No, dude,
Ooh.
it's so fucking cool because like the show, like watching the show makes the game better. Playing the game makes the show better. So like it really is like I had to rewatch the show after I play the game because I was genuinely
I started noticing things.
I was in a little bit of a rough state when I was playing the game. My grandfather had just died, so I was pretty like pessimistic, nihilistic. And I was thinking a lot about death and like what it means to be alive and things. It was, and I know this is a heavy topic right now, and if you're not into heavy topics, skip like 2 minutes, 3 minutes ahead. But yeah, playing this game at this time where it discusses things like what it means to be alive, what it means to be human, and things like that.
No.
It hit at the perfect time. Like, genuinely, it is the only game ever, and I don't cry, it is the only game to make me cry.
Damn.
Only.
Holy shit.
Like, I'm keeping it so real, it hit hard.
Yeah.
It hit hard.
The show, honestly, is also the exact same way in terms of, like, the conversation of, like, what makes us human.
Oh,
Because, like,
yeah.
that's the whole thing of, like, where David slowly becomes his predecessor in upgrades, and then
Yeah.
he's just too much, and then it's, like, now he's, like, so far that he's not coming back.
No, also, I mean, I want to discuss something really quick, too. Cyberpunk is the best game that I've ever seen of doing non-player-centered, like, lore and stuff like that. Because it has stories and things like that. Like, complete storylines and arcs from other people that you never meet in the game. Like, you see them by reading and doing side quests and stuff like that. You hear about them and learn about, like, the evil deeds that they've done and stuff like that. And, like, how they end up dying. Like, you never hear mention in the game of David. But you can find David's jacket. Mm-hmm. And you can see that he has, like, a cocktail named after him at, like, a bar. And you can see, like, you can hear about, like, the team and stuff like that. You can get small little things.
I think that was added as, like, an update portion, wasn't it, right?
It was. It
was added after the fact.
It was, but even so, like, seeing those small little things, like...
It's still really neat.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Sorry about that huge, long tangent, guys.
Yeah, no, what were we talking about? Fucking what got announced at the beginning of the year?
The cyberpunk lore.
Bro, I'm gonna nerd out so much about that game because it really made its way to number 3 in my list.
Really
Phantom Liberty was on like a ton of people's Game of the Year list.
No, I'm so serious.
And it's a DLC.
I kind of want to buy. I mean, it's a 13-hour DLC.
Yeah.
And if you're looking to complete it like 100%, it's like 80 hours to like 100% that DLC. Like, that's absurd.
So going into our announcements, we're gonna start. I'm just gonna read them off, and then we'll go through.
Well, pause on the ones that we really care about.
I'm gonna read all them through, and then we'll go back. So starting from the top, I'm going all the way down. Marvel's Blade was announced, which looks really cool. Hideo Kojima and a Jordan Peele horror Xbox project was announced. I think there was a trailer that came with it, just gave a little bit more.
It was like a weird little teaser thing. There wasn't any actual cinematics or gameplay.
Right. Ragnarok DLC came out, free expansion called Valhalla. Sega released a trailer showing off their 5 new games, including a remaster of Jet Set Radio.
Which was fire.
Light No Fire was a game being released by the No Man's Sky devs that was announced. Skull and Bones got a release date, which we know about. Rise of Ronin got a 2024 release date. No Rest for the Wicked, which is made by the Ori and the Blind Forest devs, I believe got announced. I don't know if it got a release date. Kamuri, which is a former Tango Gameworks dev indie project. It's basically going to be like a solo adventure that she's making herself. That got announced. A supermassive choose your own adventure game in the DBD universe, or Dead by Daylight universe, got announced. The Jurassic Park survival game got announced, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. A Tale of Two Sons remake got announced. Outlast Trials is coming to consoles. Black Myth Wukong got an announcement, not a release date. I'm not sure though.
I think it might have gotten a release date because it's been in development.
It might have gotten like a yearly one, not a day one.
First December?
I think it was 2025.
Yeah.
Wukong or
Wukong.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The First Descendant got a release date or an announcement. Yep. Guilty Gear got a new character announcement. Banished as a New Eden got a 2024 release date. Windblown got announced, which is made by the Dead Cells devs. It was like this very like gory, kind of cartoonish game.
Yeah.
And then the best thing on this fucking list, World of Goddamn Goo 2. And we're gonna start there. We're gonna goddamn start there. World of Goo 2, best announcement, best game, 2024 Game of the Year, we might say already. Saying.
Who's we?
What?
Me and everybody. Dude, I'm not even fucking joking.
Everybody in his head.
The fact that the week before fucking this announcement got released, I was legitimately talking to, I think, a hometown friend about how World of Goo was on the Wii, and it was like one of my favorite games on the Wii, and I've never seen anything past that. I saw like a TikTok about World of Goo, and then we get to fucking Game of the Year, and we're sitting down, and it's just it pulls out into that like universe that they're in, or like the world that they're in, where there's like goo everywhere, and I fucking lost my shit.
So
it's so good.
I'm gonna be honest. It looks like it's a Flash game.
Because it is a Flash game.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so why the fuck are we hyped about it?
Listen, you just don't understand the nostalgia.
Bro, they released Red Ball 6. Oh my god.
Dude, that would be fire. I don't know what you're talking about. Red Ball 6?
You know, this is, like, it was on the Wii, I guess, according to Ethan, but this is quite literally a fucking... the Cool Math Games game.
Dude, oh my god, Duck Life 4! Duck Life 4!
Listen.
They
I played this shit on Friv.
Yeah.
Did you play World of Goo?
Yes, on Friv.
Did you play World of Goo?
Yes.
Did you play World of Goo?
No, I didn't.
Okay, so that's why you don't get to have an opinion.
There's 8
it's
Duck
a puzzle
Life games.
Yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Yes.
How are there 8 Duck Life
they're
games?
all awesome.
I've beaten 4 of them.
I've beaten all of them.
I think I beat
All
like
8?
I'm sure I
that's
have.
absurd.
I
That is
love them.
absurd.
I have beaten the first 4 start to finish. My brother, I think, has gone all 8.
Duck Life.
Colin
is
has
amazing.
some weird fucking.
See,
Duck Life.
How
is
did
amazing.
how did it get to fucking Game of the Years? How? How?
Can I
Yes, go ahead.
A long time favorite chatter, honestly, kind of number one fan here. Silent Wario,
Caleb.
in the chat. Don't know who he is, but he says it's goo, David, and so I feel like that's enough to just say Game of the Year 2024
Hey,
here.
Ethan. Hey,
Bro,
Ethan.
dare?
Shut the fuck up.
I just wanna
Dude,
say-
I'm in a world of goo on your computer. Like, seriously.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I am mostly joking. It's World of Goo, but it's nostalgia. It's great. Anyways, we're gonna go from bottom to top. Does anybody want to talk about Windblown?
No, not really.
Not
Nothing really to say.
I've never
It
played.
looked interesting in terms of just like it would like start as this like cartoon adventure and then they start like dying. Also,
Yeah, it
have you
seems
played
cool, but,
Dead
like,
Cells?
Yeah, all the way through.
Dead
top
Cells is
to
really
bottom.
great.
I think
This
it's
is
awesome.
going to be a
I've-
really good game.
I've played Dead
Yeah.
Cells. I'm not a huge fan. I liked Skull the Hero Slayer better as like my roguelike live die repeat type thing.
Oh, but
Bro, you
but
gotta play Dead Cells.
they're not-
I
Like,
have
just-
played Dead
dude,
Cells. I didn't like it that
it's-
much.
No, you gotta just give it another chance.
bro,
it's so good.
it's not mutually exclusive. You can like both games.
No, I
without
know.
Comparing
I
them.
didn't like fucking.
No shot. You didn't like the game.
I played
That's
it.
Crazy.
It wasn't.
Oh my
it
god.
wasn't to my tastes. I don't know.
He's so silly.
Dude,
He's such a silly little guy.
I also love roguelikes. So.
Oh, you know what I'm so pissed about? This is kind of on topic because it was at Game of the Year 20. No, yeah, it was like one of the Game of the Years we've watched. It was, I think, Game of the Year 2022. The project made by the developers of Night in the Woods got canceled because the lead designer got like horribly sick and had to quit the project.
Damn.
And so they canceled the whole thing. And I'm so pissed about that because it looked so cool.
I mean, life gets in the way, so
Life gets in the way. Absolutely.
It
Yeah,
probably
it was
honestly
so
will be
sad.
re-upped. I bet. Like I feel
They scrapped the whole thing.
I mean, but that doesn't always mean that the thing
It's
is
the end. I mean, they scrapped Futurama 4 times.
real.
Fair enough.
So Banisher's New Eden. Anybody want to talk about that? It
looks like an
interesting
interesting
if-
concept. I would not play it. I would let other people play
I
it.
think it looks a little too. I don't think it looks polished. From what I've
It
seen.
does not.
It isn't there like you probably have it on your screen.
There
Isn't there
is.
like an interesting art style, like sort
no,
of,
it's,
or is it just?
it's realism. It's
Damn.
still
Yeah,
real.
it's pretty cut
it
and
looks
dry.
like it. Honestly, it looks a lot like God of War
Yeah, I mean, I think
in terms of its like realistic.
Oh
art
yeah.
style.
it's becoming more and more common for it to
I-
be that kind of realistic type
I-
style. It's harder for it, despite having realistic character models, it's hard to make the characters feel real. And that's what I didn't necessarily get from Banishers of New Eden.
That's why I like more indie artsy like styles than
The one, oh my god, what was
kinda-
that
I
game
kind of
that we were
agree with you.
interested in that's coming out on Game Pass? The one that like is like South of
South
Midnight.
of
Oh,
Midnight.
yeah.
That-
Absolutely
that-
South of Midnight
perfectly
looks
stylized.
sick,
Yeah,
dude.
that's
Sick.
the style.
It
I
looks
would
like
really
claymation. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, it's like when you go back and watch like old Disney animations, and you're
Yeah.
like, "This was perfect for the time." Like, I have no critiques on like Brother Bear's animation because that was just what it was.
Yeah.
There was no improving it.
Fucking Wall-E, bro. I just watched Wall-E. That
Oh
shit's
like-
yeah, no, seriously.
Artistic stylization is so much more interesting than just hyperrealism. Plus, the hyperrealism causes, makes the hardware more important.
Absolutely, I agree with
Like
you.
that's why sorry to bring this back up, but that's why I like I was so excited for Revenant Hill and I like Night in the Woods and stuff is because the art style is just so appealing to me.
Hey, I think I know why you like Night in the Woods.
Anyways, the Guilty.
You're one to fucking talk.
I go. Anyways, Guilty Gear new character. Does anybody want to talk about this?
It looks interesting. She looks very like cool, I guess.
I have not touched Guilty Gear, and I've heard so much about this fucking new character, dude.
Guilty
I have
Gear new character is somehow related to everyone in game.
It's Soul Bad
So
Guy's
fucking weird,
third
bro.
wife, I guess.
Third wife. Oh,
Dude,
whoa.
That game is just like I enjoy playing it, but any lore aspects makes me kind of want to vomit. It's anyway.
It's weird. It's a
Laying the
little
grease.
weird.
The First Descendant. I don't really know much about this. I can't remember what it was like. That sci-fi.
I am looking at it right now.
It kind of
It's-
looks cool.
So it's a first-person looter shooter, where you can play in
Oh, yeah, it looks like
solo or you can
Warframe.
play co-op up to 4 people, and it looks interesting. I'm looking at the story right now. I haven't seen much gameplay.
It looks like a hard mix between Destiny and Warframe.
It looks,
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and honestly, I remember watching it. I like the trailer.
Right.
It looked a little empty to me, and that is my.
It's going to be Destiny and Warframe.
That is
Exactly.
one-
It's a
Yeah.
looter shooter.
That is one of the
Yes,
biggest
Warframe,
things
literally.
that I dislike about
Oh, that
open
looks
world
so
games.
much like
First
Destiny,
off,
actually.
you don't have to have an open world game for it to be a good game. You can have linear games. Like that's totally fine. It's just
A lot of
if you
linear games are my
do
favorite.
Yeah, exactly. If you do an open world game badly, it's more of a like
much
mind.
more noticeable.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
much
Yeah.
more noticeable.
Like when you do it right, it's a like a high
say
risk,
if you
high
go-
reward type thing.
If you get a linear game wrong though, it can be much worse because then it
Yeah,
can
absolutely.
like literally stop you from playing. The
Well,
game.
absolutely, but it's like much harder to mess up a linear game
Right.
than it
'Cause
is an
it's
open world
smaller
game.
space.
Because also
less stuff that they have to worry about.
it's
put
so
in.
an open world game is so impressive when done correctly, and that's why everyone's trying to achieve that because it.
And
I mean, you're not going to see another like GTA 5, Red Dead like type thing if it's going to be like less filled. Those worlds are so good because they feel filled and like genuine and realistic.
Yeah, like Warframe is the definition of empty, and this looks like that. So
No, seriously.
Warframe was that one where you like run really fast, right?
Yeah.
Was that-
yeah, and do the weird flippy
it's
things.
a lot
that
of it's a
go
lot
around.
of
It's a looter shooter.
it's a fluid movement.
yeah.
It is a looter. It's basically faster Destiny.
It's supposed to
Kinda.
just be like appealing to the eyes, basically. That was
Yeah.
the kind of
It,
game.
it's a looter shooter and a grind fest, and this is looking like the exact same.
It
thing.
looks very similar. But anyway,
The next thing on our list is Black Myth Wukong, which
Very
looks
excited.
very cool.
I already looked it up. August 2024.
That's
This is-
sick.
This was our biggest discussion, me and Leighton. We got into so many like because he
what?
went, yeah, it's like Son Goku. And I'm like, no, it's Sun Wukong. It's the monkey, and you're just like, yeah, Son Goku. I'm like, Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong was first, and we
Just back and forth.
we started discussing this for like 20 minutes in the fucking show.
What is it tied to?
But
It's tied
Journey
to
to the West.
Journey to the West. It is the oldest like Chinese literature, other than like one other book, I think. It is also
it's-
really good.
It's
It's
so good, bro.
it's
Like
a Souls-like game with
oh, it's
fucking
so good.
Wukong.
No,
Like-
dude, it looks so cool.
it's gonna
And
be Sekiro, basically.
Wukong
Yeah,
is so
kinda.
fucking cool, dude.
It's probably gonna be closer to Wulong Dynasty, but like,
yeah, that's kind of what I got to. Yeah,
but it's like in terms of like the parrying stuff. But you said that was
I'm
still pretty
so-
fun. You just
It-
got a little bored with it.
it gave
Yeah.
me kind of Ghost of Tsushima vibes, honestly.
Yeah.
just
Is it
in
a-
game staple.
Is it a
gameplay
play?
style.
It's on Steam and Epic Games.
no,
so...
Xbox Series X coming to Xbox Series X.
Game Pass.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think it was
But
on the direct.
I'm just one of the big struggles I have with like Souls games sometimes is like, or like Soul replicas, is like I'm not interested in the main character, and that's why I don't continue.
Yeah.
Like certain Monster Hunter games that have like a Souls aspect,
Yeah.
or Wulong, and I wasn't interested in the main character, so I didn't have any need to keep going. And this one, like I really, really do like the main character, and I'm interested to just find out what the story is about.
I just want to know
yeah.
if the movement and the fighting feels good
Yep.
because like every single Souls
Dude,
like
what
I've
if it's
done,
at
I got
PAX?
bored with the fighting
though.
because it didn't feel like Sekiro or it didn't feel like a Souls game. Like I tried to play Mortal Shell because it's like, oh, this looks really cool. You got like weapons that can switch into other weapons, like a katana that can switch into an axe for a heavy attack. And I'm like, that looks really cool. I get in. It was awful.
Actually reminds me of something we're going to talk about in the Dev Direct. Anyways, continuing on, Outlast Trials is coming to consoles. I'm excited about it. Some of my other friends are excited about it too, so we'll be definitely
It's just
playing
another Dead by Daylight.
Dude,
type
Outlast Spooky Joe, it give me frightened, especially when body falls in front of door.
Especially when you were like prepped for a jump scare while we were over at Nick's house and literally lost your shit. You were like,
Dude, you didn't
No,
even
seriously.
you didn't even understand. We played it with
Oh my
with
God.
Trent the next day. Any sounds.
Like, opening a door that he knew I was opening, bro jumped. It was
Every
fucking
time.
hilarious. Going on to the next one, A Tale of Two Sons remake. Anybody want to talk about this?
That was
I'm just wondering why they're remaking a game that came out in 2013.
A Tale of Two Sons?
Yeah.
It does seem like an odd choice.
It's an odd choice, but I mean,
Money.
the difference in art style is very real. Like I'm looking at, or the difference in polish, I should say, is very real. I'm looking at the Steam thing, which Steam, what are they, websites for each? Yeah, Steam pages for each of them. It's supposed to come out February 28th, 2024, the remake, and I mean, yeah, it just looks like a more polished original game. So
It looks kind of cool. Like I'm not gonna lie, but like
it does. It looks like a fun adventure game.
Will I play it? Probably not.
Will I watch like Jacksepticeye play it? Maybe.
It seems more like a game you'd watch a streamer play. Like it gives me kind of like a It Takes Two vibe, or like or why can't I think of the name? Like a Little Monsters type thing.
Little Nightmares.
Little Nightmares. Because it's kind of like that. You're a tiny guy in like a bigger world type thing.
Yeah.
Like
what was the I think when it comes to remakes like that, like especially 2020, what the fuck, 2013, like Batman Arkham Asylum, I actually just installed, and I was like prepping myself. I was like, oh, I'm gonna just get through this game. It's gonna be all right. And it was the remake, and I still didn't really think anything of it because all of the cutscenes are not remade, which is a very interesting choice.
They just updated the graphics.
They just updated the game itself, not the cutscenes. So like the game starts, and I was like, "This is gonna be rough." Okay, yeah. And then right as the game starts, I was like, "Holy shit!"
I will say I'm also a big fan of like those old graphics. They give me such an exciting
There's a
feel.
period of graphics that I don't like. It's like before and after, great. That one period of like, like 2008 to like 2012.
You know what it was for me? The Wii U period.
Yeah.
I like Wind Waker type stuff, things like that.
I enjoyed Wind Waker.
I thought it was good. The graphics weren't my
What
jam.
you just fucking said?
Things like Skylanders, that type of
I
stuff.
see what you
Okay. We need to back the fuck. I do not agree with you anymore. I was like Wii U. I'm thinking of fucking like Mario and like the fucking the random revamped games, dude. Wind Waker Waker was solid.
No, but it's the graphics, dude. I thought the game was fun, but the graphics still kind of freak me out a little bit.
It's just a cartoony style.
I know it is, but like also I thought they tried to make the rocks realistic while the character is like fucking not realistic at all.
Link.
He's
Toon Link.
What people who are remaking old games should do is do what Halo did and remaster all of the cutscenes in proper cinematic form.
Hey, Diablo 2 did that. It was awesome.
That's great. No one cares.
You can eat my...
Diablo 2.
Moving on to the next one, we'll just keep going. We're only like halfway through the list right now.
Yeah, we can like speedrun some.
Jurassic Park Survival looks really good.
Looks
it's
cool.
going to be interesting. I'm definitely probably going to honestly play it because I played the VR version of one of the Jurassic Park games that came out. I fucking love the vibe of like Isla Nublar. And it like being like you're no one's around, it's just you and you have to get out. Like I love that shit. All the atriums that are like slightly broken and you have all of like the remnants of what the park was gonna be.
It feels kind of like it feels like overgrown, kind of natural, like nature reclaiming.
Like apocalyptic.
Yeah, absolutely. I also vibe with that type of stuff. Yeah.
DBD is releasing a Choose Your Own Adventure.
The
I
casting
love
of Frank
Supermassive.
Stone is what it's called.
Yeah,
it looks cool.
It looks really dope, and I love Supermassive. So they made the Quarry. They made
it looks like the Quarry.
The fucking
It's not just Supermassive Games. It's also Behavior Interactive. That's they're in collaboration.
The DVD aspect of that.
Yeah, they're in collaboration with Supermassive.
They made fucking Until Dawn.
Yes, yeah. They did, but there's God, what is it called? It's like the Dark Pictures Anthology. That's what it's called. It's it's a picture of like it's like 4 games. And I've played like 2 of them, Man of Medan and a different one. But it's basically just how the company makes their shoes around.
So Supermassive did Man of Medan. I think it's the Little Devil.
The Devil in Me.
Devil in Me.
That's I watched you play
Little
that.
Hope is the other one. Little Hope is another one, and then there's a 4th one.
House of Ashes.
House of Ashes.
It's gonna be interesting because they
I was just
definitely
looking
know
at it.
what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be
yeah.
a very interesting.
And I think this is what Dead by Daylight needs in terms of like revival of their series. Like I really do enjoy Dead by Daylight, but holy shit, has it become just a cesspool of like fucking just as one type of player who just kind of knows everything about the game. You just can't play the game anymore without getting like dogged on.
Yeah, I've also heard that it has become popular in like some negative communities too. So like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Moving on to the next one. Honestly, probably one of like the top 3 out of this list. Kamuri looks very
It looks
good.
so cool, dude.
Very good.
if I remember correctly, I'm gonna look it up again, but if I remember correctly, the art style was incredible.
Yes, the art style was amazing. The world looks awesome. The characters look cool. It looks like a concept right now. It looks like someone.
It is. That's what she said. It's not anywhere near development. It is a concept.
Yeah, which seems awesome. And I think like if they can get like a company to pick them up or something, that will be fucking fire. That would be awesome.
On top of that, she's that's why I said former Tango Gameworks dev, is because Tango Gameworks made Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
And they also made Evil Within Me, and those are 2 very, very popular games. I'm not sure if she worked on Hi-Fi Rush, but if she did, I mean the fucking humor in that game is like that's enough to make a really good game out of
It
something.
looks like
is just having really really good humor.
Rewatching the trailer, it looks like hack and slash with parkour, and I'm vibing with it. I'm gonna be honest.
The next one, No Rest for the Wicked. It's going to be from the Ori and the Blind Forest devs.
I
which
have things to say.
Super excited about that.
I have things to say.
You Can Fish. Good game.
Wait, for what? No Rest for the Wicked?
Yeah, You Can Fish.
Oh yeah, fire.
I
The
think
end.
it looks cool, but I'm also like, I don't know, Ori and the Blind Forest devs, like, they give me kind of this ick. Because they go, our game
Yes,
is
because you're-
the best game.
I think it's just because
He's a
Team
Team
Cherry,
Cherry, yeah.
Team Cherry hasn't released a game in like fucking 3 decades. So
Well, I mean, it's more so that they are kind of pompous. Like, I've been reading some of their updates on, like, X and things like that. Just when I was looking into this. And a lot of it's like, guys, we have to, like, sell out. Like, this has to, like, reach top of, like, Steam sales. And I'm like, it does it? Like,
is it joking though? I would say.
I mean,
like,
maybe
the stuff
it's
that I've seen
joking.
is more like kind of being what's it called? What's the word? Over like exaggerating or whatever.
Well, yeah, but I think it's just like I don't know. They kind of give me the ick just because like they believe that their games are the number 1, and that's awesome. Have some like pride in your game, but like when you're saying other games are shit, that's not the kind of environment I want to deal with.
Realistically, if we were to put this in order, it'd be like Ori and the Blind Forest, this next one that we haven't even seen anything about, and then like right about Hollow Knight. I've heard this one game. It's
Bro's really just like a fucking skill issue.
okay. Listen, I'll play the game at some point, but I just like messing with things.
Bro, he got skill
Dude,
issues
why
so
actually
hard.
has like I understand it. We need to talk about that at some point. Honestly, it's probably a later conversation because we need to get through the.
I have a lot of reasons why
We're only at
Silksong
49
hasn't
minutes.
come out yet, or like there is no reason to not have updates about its progression, but there's a lot of reasons that it could
Why?
be.
It is a fully hand-drawn game.
hand-drawn game. There are 3
if they're making it
people-
anywhere near bigger.
There are 3 people working to make the game, and I
Just
mean
3.
just 3
Damn.
people.
It's why like Deltarune has been taking forever to come out, is because it's just Toby Fox and Temmie.
Yeah, and I mean,
what's her face?
it's fire. Like, I want them to create the best game possible that they can. Absolutely. Just communicate, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's it.
sorry.
It looks like No Rest for the Wicked is also like it says a handcrafted world, explore a painting come to life. I'm reading the Steam page for No Rest for the Wicked. I'm talking about the art style. It says it's taken a striking painterly world, meticulously built with an incredible attention to detail and a unique ageless art style. So it looks like it's
It's a heavily stylized game.
It's a heavily stylized, and it looks like a lot of it's like very well pieced together.
The actual fuck.
What?
Sorry, I just have like this is like some D&D thing that I looked up.
Yeah, that ain't it, Chief.
I have
That
no
ain't
idea
it.
what's going on.
What just happened?
It's just this random. I looked up No Rest for the Wicked game, and it just did not show me what I wanted to see.
This is the No
I know,
Man's Sky, but it's accurate.
Yeah. That's why I'm looking it up.
I mean, dude, I think it looks cool. It's just the game may not be for me. Like, I love Moon Studios, and I believe they make great games. I don't know. It's kind of
So good.
it does
It looks beautiful. I'd like to see what they have to do with the rest of it.
Yeah, exactly, because it seems, I don't know. It feels kind of like Assassin's Creed right now.
This
just
looks. I really do
setting-wise.
think it looks. It's gonna be.
We'll have to see when it comes out. We'll see what the reviews coming in will tell.
Like, genuinely, it looks really cool. It's giving me kind of like an arcane art style. Like, we're watching the video right now.
I actually thought the same thing. It looked like a lot like
Oh
Arcane.
my god, it looks good.
It does look a lot like
God,
Arcane.
it looks good.
Damn.
Dude, holy shit.
Brother just, like, fully endorsed the game.
I'm
like,
just saying, bro. I'm just saying. Anyways, the next one, Rise of Ronin. I know you guys want to talk about this.
I
think,
am
a little bit.
incredibly excited for this game, and I'm pissed that it's a PS5 exclusive.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll come to
I'm
PC.
not that mad.
That's great. That's great, Layden.
Oh.
I'm pissed that it's a PS5 exclusive because I really fucking want to play it because it literally looks like Sekiro, but with more like modern movement. If that makes sense.
Interesting. I kind of got the vibe. It reminded me kind of Ghost of Tsushima type thing. Like, it kind of reminded me a lot of that game. And, I mean, hands down, that game's fantastic. So, like...
Yeah, it reminds me of Sekiro in like the style because obviously it's a Ronin and versus a Shinobi.
Of course.
It reminds me of the same sort of like style, but then whereas Sekiro goes more towards realism with their swordplay, this feels more like action oriented,
yeah.
and I'm very excited to see how that plays out because it could very easily be too action packed and not look nice or feel nice. Like whereas Sekiro's realism feels like you're in the game,
Yeah.
but if they do it correctly, it could feel very, very nice, and I'm quite excited to see it like play out.
Skull of Bones, the next one on our list, got a release date. This is just the more I see about this fucking game, it just does not look good. So I'm gonna just skip on. This one again, top 3. Just the information that's been released. You can't leave your ship. It's a pirate game, and you can't leave your ship.
What?
Yeah, that's all you gotta know. That is the first fucking thing.
That is like
It's bad. It's bad, bro.
what?
Light No Fire from the No Man's Sky
Fire
devs looks really good.
I was looking at it. It does look really good. So think No Man's Sky, but instead of trying to do a procedural generated like space and procedurally generated worlds and whatnot, think taking one Earth and making it procedurally generated one Earth,
Accurate sized Earth.
Yeah, like giant Earth, and then have that be open world survival fantasy Earth, like a fantasy Earth, where you can meet, almost like how No Man's Sky, there's a small chance you meet somebody else, like that, where it's everyone's like technically playing on the same Earth, right?
Yeah.
It looks fire.
Yeah.
It
looks
it's
interesting.
No Man's Sky on a single planet, and I'm actually quite excited to see it because I love No Man's Sky, and also I think it's going to be really cool.
It's definitely connected to the universe too.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, because of the fucking.
It's not.
the pillar.
It's not very. It doesn't look very futuristic though. It looks more.
The
I mean, you can fly on a hummingbird, dude. It's not supposed to be, like, realistic.
You
It's
can
meant
fly
to
on
be
a
more
dragon,
on a
like,
fantasy side.
It's more of a fantasy than
But
it is a sci-fi.
but like I'm talking like the aspects of like
What are they
even the
called?
main game card, like the
I see what you're saying.
sci-fi stuff that you explore
pillars-
along the way
the
that like
pillars and
talks to
the-
you. It has like an eye, and it's like throughout the game of No
Yeah, like
Man's
the
Sky.
eye is watching.
Right. It's just like this entity. It's supposed to be. It's going to be in this new one.
It actually looks pretty fire.
Like,
It does look really good. It does
Like
look really
imagine it's like Minecraft Earth when that got really, really popular. It's like fucking imagine all four of us pulling up to like our perfect little base spot in like the
Imagine
some
being-
national park. Or
Imagine being like, all right, guys, today Everest.
Literally,
Let's do it.
I actually am
they
really
probably
excited for this
will
game.
have some sort
Yeah,
of
no, that, it
Everest.
literally says in the description like who's going to climb the tallest mountain, who's going to like it has in the description like that kind of stuff.
That's
so
dope.
It's cool.
Imagine if they had like contests, like race to the top.
Like, that'd be
Who,
sick.
who could be the first in the world to Mount Everest?
That'd be sick.
The next one,
Who's mounting who?
Mountain
sorry.
Friends.
Sega released 5 new games that are
Game of the
coming
year.
out in a trailer. One of
that like
them
a
was
pack?
a remastered Jet Set Radio. I don't know.
I thought it was like a grab pack.
Yeah,
that
it's-
was like an old game pack, right?
Yeah.
No, it's not old games. It's new
Oh, it's
games.
new games?
It's like I think it's one. It's like a
Jet Set Radio is the only one being remastered. All of the other ones are new games.
oh really?
Yes, I've looked them
Huh.
up. In Jet Set Radio, the reason I added it as well is because it is the Hi-Fi Rush before Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
That was what
Yeah.
kind of Hi-Fi Rush took inspiration off, so I think it's gonna be pretty interesting. The next one, Ragnarok DLC. Valhalla was a free expansion that released the day of. It's a roguelike and has gotten like massive amounts of love and appreciation because it goes into like the old story of Kratos and like his acceptance of who he is now, and just like, and basically it's just it has so much story even in it just being a DLC like roguelike expansion.
I would honestly switch the last two around because I think we'd have more to talk about from the last one, and we're barely over an hour. We're
I'm
not
honestly
even at
not
an
very
hour.
interested in the next one, to be
Not
perfectly
interested
honest.
in either of the last
Really, I'm very
I'm
interested
very
in.
interested in the top one though.
That is
You silly goober.
So I can talk about the next one, which is OD, which is the Hideo Kojima and Jordan Peele horror project that they're going to be working on. No gameplay has been announced. No story really has been announced. No game.
It was more an
play and
announcement
stuff.
that this thing exists.
Yeah, it's an announcement that they're going to be doing something, and according to Kojima, the game is going to explore the concept of testing your fear threshold and what it means to OD on fear. That's the name of the game. Like, that's the point.
It's fucking wild.
So
No, it looks
it's gonna,
incredible.
What does it say? So I'm reading the Wikipedia page. It says Kojima also stated he's working with Xbox Game Studios and their cloud gaming tech to take on the challenge of creating a very unique, immersive, and totally new style of game, or rather a new form of media.
See, this is very interesting to me because
Very Kojima.
The idea, yeah, very Kojima. The Kojima games are always very conceptual type thing, and
He's always trying, like, kind of reaching out there
yeah,
He's trying to
to push the medium.
trying to
And
do stuff, like trying to.
Peele is a very like A24 style like horror creator.
What
so, like,
do you mean by A24? Because
That's another horror studio type thing. It reminds me a lot of A24 and a lot of his things. Like I really liked Us and like Get Out and things like that.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, absolutely. I think
they
he
made
does an
Tusk?
amazing job.
Ooh.
I feel like they are very different in the styles that they make, though.
I feel like that's going to be interesting
I
because how Kojima is, like, he's never
Yeah.
been very headstrong in his ideas. He's always been kind of somewhat open to take inspiration from others
David's
and then
mic
push
is
his own
unplugged.
thing.
Sorry.
I am so sorry, guys, that I have been like muted for the past like
How
10
long?
minutes.
Oh my god.
That's quite funny.
Goober.
Anyway,
Back to-
Yeah, I'm so sorry that I was quiet there, guys. All I was saying is Jordan Peele is like, if we just want to cut out that last little bit. Jordan Peele is very like A24 style and things like that. Very like typical horror movie type thing. He's very good. Don't
He's
get me wrong.
conceptual. He's like
no, he's
Definitely.
conceptual. I would
He's-
not
yeah,
say
I
he's
wouldn't
a
say he's-
typical horror movie,
yeah.
because I'm looking at, just for example, the A24 horror movie like stuff. These are not like, a lot of them have more. They're more psychological.
Absolutely.
Than-
Right.
Yeah,
than the
yeah.
movie,
That's
which
I
is
guess that's kind of
exactly
what I'm getting
what
for.
they're going for.
I think that really. I think it'll probably really work with the way Hideo
Yeah.
Kojima does things.
because they're both visionaries.
Yeah.
So they
what has Kojima done in the past? Like,
Metal
big
Gear.
stuff?
He was a big on Metal Gear, I think, right?
He
did-
Dead Stranding.
Death
Yeah,
Stranding,
right, right.
Is
That's
the-
what it
that's the
was.
big one I'm thinking of right
Yeah.
now. He did the Metal Gear games. There's
Which all have great stories for what they were at the time.
excellent stories. I mean,
I mean,
James is replaying
what-
them right now.
What I think is very, I mean, I I want to be optimistic about this too, but like,
Castlevania.
I don't know, selling it as like we want you to overdose on fear, that type of thing is, I don't know, that seems a little odd to me because like, I don't know,
A little out there.
There are places that do that. Like there's a place in I'm somewhere in the U.S. though that you pay like $500 to go through, and they basically like bring you to the brink of death like multiple times just to scare you. Like it's absurd, like genuinely absurd, and like
It's for a very select few.
yeah,
people.
for a very select few people. So if it's gonna be like to that extent, I mean, I don't know. This will be a very interesting type
We'll see
game.
how it goes, because they did also say that they're trying to push the medium of cloud and like utilizing cloud gaming.
Working with the Xbox and their cloud gaming tech. They're trying. He said Kojima has stated that they're trying to make a new form of media, is what they're trying to say.
So we'll see how
we'll
that
see how
goes.
that means. We'll
'Cause
see what it goes there.
I can fully see this going very, very well, and as long as they like, you know, if they make it like something like PT, like just that sense of like there is something wrong here,
Yeah.
and of like the constant loops, like that feeling, if they can capture that and make something incredible out of it, these are the two people that I would think could do it.
Yeah, I think they will be very good at creating something that might be good. For like, it might just be for a select few audiences. But like, as my brother says, he likes playing, like, it's easier to deal with a threat that you can like kill or like manage or something like that. Like, what the fuck is the game that I'm thinking of where you can like slice off the limbs of the enemies?
Dying Light?
No. I'm trying to think of what it is. It was on Death Stranding. No, not Death Stranding.
Dead Space.
Dead
You
Space.
shoot
Dead
the
Space.
limbs
Yeah,
off.
shoot the
Yeah,
limbs
sorry.
off. Like yeah. Like those types of things where you can like deal with the enemies type things. He says it's much scarier, and I feel like a lot of people agree that it is scarier in a game when you have an enemy that you can't do anything about. Like you just have to fucking run. Like that.
Yeah, that's
type
what
of
the Amnesia, the bunker game that I played on podcast was.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
like
Amnesia does.
the only enemy is an enemy that you can run away from.
yeah, and that's
Like, it's
fucking
crazy.
All of
terrifying,
Outlast?
dude. Yeah, Outlast. Like there's nothing you can do about those
Like
ones.
Chris
Like,
Walker made us probably poop our pants more times than I can count.
I mean, that's kind of like the point of like get out type thing. Like you're in danger.
Or Nope.
Fucking go.
Like,
Yeah.
like even for most of the movie in Nope, it was basically just you're fucked.
Yeah.
Run, hide,
And
get
that's
away.
that is so much scarier than like anything else I can think of, like that type of stuff. But yeah, OD, a really interesting game.
Yeah, I'm actually quite excited to see where it
Going
goes.
going from that, I would say is probably the one I'm again. There's only three. It was Kamuri, Light No Fire, and then this next one, Marvel's Blade, which looks really cool. It's probably going to be on PlayStation, so I'm not going to be able to play it. But with the track record that like the Marvel projects have gotten so far, like with
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, and there's another one, Wolverine. Like we're gonna see some really cool stuff, and I think Marvel's Blade is gonna be really cool. The cinematic was just really, really dope. So.
Yeah, no, seriously,
it's cool.
seriously.
Vampire with a katana.
I think it's really cool, and it's a character that hasn't really been expanded on a lot.
He's got a movie or a show coming, I believe.
Yeah, and
so.
obviously comic type stuff too. But
Wait
like,
a minute. You guys know that Bethesda is also taking part of this?
What?
Marvel's Blade?
Well, yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
I mean, Bethesda has been shaky recently, but like I'm excited. I think it would be cool.
I think is.
We'll see how it goes.
I didn't know that Bethesda was on the Marvel's Blade project. Granted, they also did Hi-Fi Rush, so like.
But Bethesda,
it's Bethesda the publisher.
I'm not sure. It just says Bethesda.
It's not the
they probably are
developer.
publisher.
No.
But
From
it
the
doesn't-
studio
it
that
doesn't
brought you
mean-
Dishonored and Deathloop.
Like
Arcane,
Redfall,
Lion.
like
it's made
Redfall was published by Bethesda, so it really is like sometimes
It's developed by the people who made Deathloop and stuff.
Yeah, so so then actually it might be pretty dope.
Quit shaking your mic around, boy.
And then so just finishing off our Game of the Year conversation, overall thoughts. We'll go around the table real quick, and then we can just mention who won in our personal game that we do. It's pretty cool. I'll just mention that before we do our overall thoughts. Me and Aiden won. We're the coolest. I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is I absolutely did terrible on this one. Like it was rough.
David
dude.
at a certain point was just like, ooh.
David gave up halfway
Bro,
through.
it was like the
Layton was
magic.
holding on. I think you were
Layton
1 point
came
behind.
back
You were 1 point
really
behind.
close.
I think I was like 3 points behind. I was like, ooh,
If
oh.
you had voted for Baldur's Gate with me for Game of the Year, you would have tied for.
Did I not vote Baldur's Gate
No,
for you?
you voted Legend of Zelda.
Really?
I don't know what was in like what how I
You got
convinced you that
convinced.
day.
I remember you got convinced last second by Ethan
Yeah.
because
I
you
just like my
you
sweet
thought about it.
face.
You thought about it and was just
So.
like, no, I'm gonna switch. And then me and David went Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I got dogged on. I'll be honest.
So let's just finish this off before we get into our nerdy news. What did we think of the Dev Direct? I'll start with Aiden, and we'll go this way. Left.
Overall thoughts of Game of the Year? It was very interesting. I feel like there wasn't really a whole lot of surprises in who won what. Like a lot of them was like kind of like a duh. Game of the Year even wasn't super like it wasn't no Elden Ring versus God of War. Like I don't think anything's ever gonna really top that. But it was enjoyable. Didn't enjoy the overwhelming number of ads as much as I like enjoyed things getting announced. I found it quite annoying that they were rushing people a lot. And I won. Looking back at the document,
Hey, bro.
one of you owes me a magic pack.
We'll talk about that at some point. It's one of you is paying for one, and the other one's paying for the other. Because we both tied.
Ixalan set booster. Actually, no.
No, you're not.
I want Murders
Really?
of Karlov mana set booster.
You don't get to be picky, mister.
I'll get you a Kamigawa draft booster.
I am getting
No.
I am getting you a 2022 Jumpstart pack.
Hey, whoa, Bruvok the Grand Delinquent's in there.
I'm
I'll
getting
take
you no. I'm just getting you a Phyrexian one then.
that. All will be one god.
Oh.
We pulled so much
No,
of that.
no, no.
Bro, stop kicking
We'll give
me.
you March of the Machines Aftermath draft pack.
Seriously.
There is no draft
Seriously.
pack.
You know what I mean.
It's an epilogue pack.
Epilogue pack.
Hey, you
What
get
were your
5
thoughts?
cards, mister. Take it or leave it.
What were your thoughts?
And then I get fucking
Layton?
Nissa, whatever.
You shush over there.
I think Aiden pretty much summed it up. Moving on, Ethan.
All right. My personal thoughts. I didn't find it as enjoyable personally as I did last year. There was just this kind of.
I agree.
There was a vibe of just stuff that was going on here, and just like paying attention to stuff. And I was like, I think I got overexcited on like making sure everything was perfect, and then just the actual thing itself was just not great. It just had announcements that I wasn't really solid on. The games itself, like I was excited to see Zelda and stuff like that, and we saw it was just like Aiden said, and what we've talked about is like, nobody got the time they deserved. Larian went up and was like, we had people literally die for this project. Like it was people we lost during the making of this project. 30 seconds were up and they were forced off the stage. It was like, it's to the point of like, it was disrespectful, and I think
I agree.
That's what needs to be changed. And I think Jeff Keighley, knowing Jeff Keighley, like he's a genuine dude. I think they focused too heavy on the fact that Christopher Judge made such a long speech the previous one. They wanted to make sure that no one would do that again, and so that way we wouldn't disrupt the flow of the show. But I feel like it just kind of messed
It
it
flowed too much. It didn't really feel like
It
a
It felt like we were like,
Yeah, it
Like
didn't.
going through.
I'll be honest. It didn't feel like we were like flowing as you should be, like through something.
It was
where
cuts.
it was cuts. It was like it's kind of like if you're watching a video and then you just start to like notice the YouTuber is doing tons of jump cuts. Like
Right.
that's how it felt. It just didn't feel correct.
topic changed a lot very quickly.
Absolutely. It went from like I'm hyped about this thing, and then I'm like oh, and then the next thing oh, I'm hyped about this thing.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
It was a little weird.
Yeah, so like it didn't really give me time to experience the excitement and then experience like the gratefulness I have for the people in the thing, like the games who won. And it didn't give us time to be excited about our game either.
Right.
Like our little betting thing. Like it was cute. Like I don't know. Like in the 2022 game of the year, we were able to be like, "Oh, that's hype. That's hype. That's hype."
right.
But then it just kind of like
It
petered
was
out.
too fast.
Yeah.
They were trying
was-
to fit a time slot.
Right. It was.
felt.
I think that was the difference. Is there's a build up in the previous in the previous game of the year. There was like and who will win? Boom, 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 boom. And then we all cheered and we looked at our things. Oh, yeah.
Didn't last time they announced the things, then view a few trailers, and then like a sort of like some small commercial break, and then like let the hype build, and then do it. And this year it was just kind of, and it's this guy.
Yeah, no, that was it. They did 3 topics. They went like innovation and accessibility, sports and sim, or sports and racing, sim. All right, let's watch some trailers. It was just like,
it did not
the
feel
hell?
right. Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, now we're doing
Gonzo showed up at some point.
Yeah, what the fuck, Gonzo?
Best part of the show.
Yeah, Gonzo.
Literally, I didn't even have time to like react to like the games that were just shown, and then suddenly Gonzo's there.
Gonzo didn't even get that much
Best
time.
part of the show.
Though.
No.
That was the
No,
thing.
they booted him off.
Right.
Yeah, but the best part of the game.
Best part of the game was Gonzo and my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton.
So I have a question for you. Is there any like nerdy news or anything like that?
Oh man.
In fact, there is. There was a developers direct by Xbox that came out.
They announced some kid bought $280 worth of Legion.
Legion, right? Yeah,
Star
no.
Wars Legion at a local game store.
A little bit of backstory.
I can
Nick,
see why you're excited for this game.
What?
Brother.
Shush. What do you?
We are talking about other things, Aiden.
But so one of my friends bought a bunch of minifigs. Is the sad thing. But the devs
The
direct.
sad thing is
Side thing.
I was like,
David, do you know how much he spent?
Yeah.
$280.
yeah, I know that's absurd, bro. And he's spending on fucking Legion. I wanted to play Armada, and then y'all came in and were just like, no.
Caleb likes Legion more. Apparently, so
I guess that makes sense.
he's a silly little boy. I know he's watching right now. You're silly.
He's a goober. Oh my
Anyways,
gosh.
so the devs direct 5 games got released. Stop that, Liam. I'm just gonna list them all out. We can talk about some if you want to. Avowed was it's a magic based game coming from Bethesda. It looks really good. Stop friggin' touching me. Oh no, it's not Bethesda. It's Obsidian Entertainment. What am I talking about?
Are you sure?
Senua's Saga.
Yes, it is Obsidian.
Hellblade 2 is coming out. Visions of Mana looks super interesting. I'm very excited for that.
I'm excited about it.
Ara History Untold is like a sim based game. A sim strategy. It looks like it's pretty expansive. They give a lot of time to this game, but I guess it's just not my cup of tea. And then finally the big one, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle.
That looks actually pretty interesting.
really good. They're all coming out to Game Pass. It's really exciting.
I get to be Indiana Jones. Fun.
Okay,
So yeah.
Avowed's coming to Game Pass?
I'm
They're all
hyped
coming to
about.
Game
I'm
Pass.
hyped about a few things in this list.
What do you guys want to talk about?
I have opinions on Visions
David.
of Mana.
Okay, I'm gonna go through, and I'm just gonna go bang, 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 bang. My opinions about this. Avowed, it looks really cool. I genuinely want to play it. It gives me kind of a Sea of Thieves art style type thing, and I think that's gonna be awesome. I'm excited to look at it. I'm excited to play it. Hellblade 2. I watched some gameplay of this. I think it is a little shaky. It's giving me kind of Gollum vibes. It's giving me like, I don't know. It's not hitting me perfectly right now. I think they have some work to do with the camera, and I think they have some work to do with like the visuals, because it just looks like dark and cloudy right now. Moving to Visions of Mana. Oh my gosh, this game looks really sick, and it kind of reminds me of it reminds me a little bit of like a Final Fantasy game. It reminds me a little bit of like a Monster Hunter. It reminds me kind of why can't I remember the one that's kind of like a Legend of Zelda knockoff?
Genshin Impact.
Genshin. It kind of reminds me of Genshin.
No, that's my critique, is that it reminds me a little too much of Genshin.
I don't know if that's necessarily a negative thing, but
okay.
like also it is a Square Enix game, so it's gonna be kind of Final Fantasy.
I'm gonna be honest. I have not watched the trailer for this one. I need to watch it to make my proper opinion, because I'm worried that it's going to be like Tales of Arise, because I got super excited for Tales of Arise like when it was announced, and I'm like, this game looks awesome, and then it's like 3D turn-based like Xenoblade, and I was like, and it didn't, and it flopped hard. And so I'm a little worried, because it looks a lot like that style of game, and often that doesn't do well for me.
Okay,
I'm watching the trailer.
It looks exciting for me though.
Whoa. First,
bro, let me fucking talk.
I'm sorry.
Wasn't David
Bro,
like,
bro.
You'll have your turn.
David say, I'm gonna bang these out like this.
So next thing, Ara, History Untold. It kind of looks like Civ 6, and I don't know how I'm vibing with that because I really like Civ 6, and I think that's cool. Finally, discussing the Indiana Jones thing. I think it looks really cool. It reminds me a lot of like Tomb Raider, Lara Croft type stuff, and I think that'll be a neat experience. Okay.
Ara does look pretty decent, I will say.
No, it does, but it's kind of reminding me of like Civ 6 mixed with like SimCity.
Mm-hmm. That's what I got.
Oh yeah, why is there a stadium and then a fucking like Greek
Indiana
battlefield?
Jones. I'm just kidding.
I said Indiana Jones. That's
you?
my thing. Yeah.
All right, you want to go? You go.
Sure. Yeah, I'll bang it up quickly. Avowed. Interesting. I genuinely think it's interesting. I'm going to download it and play it on when it comes to Game Pass. Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Mid. I thought the first one was mid. This one's going to be even worse.
Nick fucking loved the first one.
That's because Nick is Nick.
Yeah, it's true.
Visions of Mana. Anime game. Ara, History Untold. I'd much rather play Civ 6. Indiana Jones. Looks great. I cannot wait. I will play that. That'll be awesome. I can't wait to... It's Tomb Raider, but Indiana Jones.
It is going to be.
I get to
really
punch
cool.
Nazis and solve fucking temple shit. That sounds great.
No, dude, it sounds cool. It's like a Tomb Raider game.
They,
it
also,
looks fire.
the devs look like they've put a ton of time. Todd Howard has talked about this game, and it looks like it's going to be.
When
really
was
good.
the last
does
Indiana
look pretty
Jones
well
game?
polished.
When was the last Indiana Jones game?
Never.
Never. They've never done
Lego Indiana Jones 2.
Lego.
I love Indiana
actually, no,
Jones.
that's a vibe.
And that's an
You guys-
amazing series.
Dude, there's a mission in one of the Indiana Jones games where they're like, oh, I can't even describe it. Like, it's just very like
I soft-locked
the entire
myself.
fucking game is really good. The Lego series,
Dude, yeah, I enjoyed
I
Lego
soft locked
games.
myself in Lego Indiana Jones 2 in one of the things because you remember how you had to select little different Lego sets to go to different like storylines.
Mm-hmm.
In one of them, there is a plane locked behind a 1 million stud doorway that you have to unlock, and you can then fly the plane. I somehow glitched myself inside of it
and so
and
you can't get out.
stuck myself in there.
I see. So you get good. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was like 10.
Gotcha. Get good.
It's like
Yeah, no.
10.
I think my favorite Indiana Jones game was when in Star Wars Complete Saga I could pick Indiana Jones as a character. That was crazy.
Fair, valid.
That was crazy.
All right. Do we have anything else that we want to chat about? Or are we good?
My only thing with Visions of Mana, the others Avowed looks very cool. I'm not interested in Civ style games, so our History Untold isn't really good.
I'm playing a lot of Bannerlord.
Fucking Indiana Jones looks very cool. If it's got the proper polish, it might actually be a Game of the Year contender. Like, it's got potential. Avowed looks interesting. It just looks like another, like sword and magic type. What are they called?
I don't know. I
Like
vibe with it.
it's like a horde shooter, but like dialed down.
I can't remember.
Don't know.
Roguelike,
Didn't
I
ask.
guess. it looks like that.
Who?
Avowed?
Yeah, it look from what I saw, it looked like something. It just looks like sword and magic, and you kill enemies, and there's.
Is it VR?
No, it's
No.
Avowed.
No, the thing that you're talking about.
No, it's a genre.
Blade and
It's
Sorcery
not
is
a-
VR.
I have no.
It's
idea.
Blade and Sorcery type stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it looks interesting. It just doesn't look like the most amazing game to me currently, but maybe
And
that'll
Visions of
change.
Mana does it?
No.
I was about-
Visions of Mana. Okay, I watched the first 3 seconds of the trailer, and the first shot in that trailer looks identical to Genshin Impact,
It does. But I can
and
see it right now.
it's setting me off.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely.
Like, quite literally, David, quickly peek your head around.
I
this.
have watched it.
It's uncanny how identical.
I
it
will
is, and
say
it's putting me off.
I enjoyed Genshin up until the fact that it was a gacha game. If this one's not a
No,
gacha game,
that's real.
I think it could be a really good game.
Genshin was also stealing a lot of assets from a lot of other people.
Absolutely, no, I absolutely
So-
agree.
Okay. It looks like if Genshin had proper polish and
It's
no
also
gotcha.
made
Yeah.
by the Final Fantasy team, so it's going to be.
I know
It's gonna
it's
be
gonna
pretty
be
fire.
Wait, hold up.
I need also. That's another thing. I need to play fucking Final Fantasy 16. That game looks so fucking good. All the stuff the music is incredible.
Who made this?
Also, one thing before we end the podcast, our friend Caleb wanted to talk about it really
Oh,
quick.
Bandai.
It's actually kind of funny. There was a Bradley driver.
It
I
is
think
funny.
near Russia or Ukraine or something like that. Shut up.
it is funny.
Who he was able to kill a T-90 tank, and they asked him how he was able to do it, and he said, "I'm really good at video games."
Man said War Thunder.
and what's the only video game out there that has
War
very good? He knew exactly where to shoot because he had played video games.
Well, there
And
are military sims.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
but what's the most
what's
common
the
and most
one that-
popular, bro?
What's the
War
one that
Thunder.
like leaked classified military documents on a regular basis?
Yeah, consistently. To the point that
True.
the developers went on Twitter and said, fucking, we can't use it. It's sort of turbo illegal.
It's sort of really fucking illegal.
Stop sending them to us.
All right, so that is going to be our podcast today. Thank you guys so much for joining. We're glad to be back.
We love you
We
guys.
forgot to talk about
Shut up, bro. Next week, you guys are going to see a review of Hi-Fi Rush from me and Leighton.
Will you?
And in the next weeks after that, we'll tell you. Next week, we'll tell you what the next podcast is. But yeah, thank you guys for
talk
talk
about
Thank
NATO.
you guys so much for joining.
A NATO officer.
We will see you next time
about
in the
war.
next video.
Thanks, guys.
Bye
Bye-bye.
bye.
Have you
Bye.
guys seen Lola Bunny porn?